Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the After Action Report. I am very, very happy to have you here with us. Another person who's happy to have you with us is Admiral Tater. Admiral Tater's Ship Shop is the one that brings this show to you. He has the absolute best in Armada accessories, so, if you're looking for those nice acrylic pieces to bring to the table, this is the place to go. And keep an eye on the Ship Shop because, we're all war gamers. We know how the tabletop stuff goes, and most of us have at least dabbled in Warhammer. If you're interested in that, you may see some new offerings on there. So you'll want to give that a chance and see what's going on there. As for us, well, we've got a show going on here that we are going to talk about some fleet building. But before we get into that, I want to let you know what the schedule is going to be for the rest of the week because it's a little bit different from normal. We do have this show tonight. We also will not have Mid-Rim Mayhem this week. Unfortunately, I've got a 3 to 11 shift at work, which means that I will be unable to set everything up to give you a game there. So apologies for that. Do my best to make that up to you. But we do on Sunday. We should still have our Sith Adventures for Swoder. May try to do an impromptu stream here and there with the Darth Sparkles Adventures. So check that out. But as far as what we have got going on now, if I can get everything set up correctly here, we do have Reuben with us.
Hey, how y'all doing?
We have Nick with us.
Hey, everybody.
And, since we were doing fleet building, decided to, there are 3 big fleet builders out there. We used one last week. Most of you are really familiar with Ryan Kingston's. Today we are taking a look at how Starforge works as we put together our Rebel fleet. Yes, it is the night that Reuben has been waiting for.
Yes. Yes.
So, and
you all understand.
we had this discussion before we started putting things together, before we started the show, about what direction we were going to go in with this, because there were so many different directions that you could go in with Rebel fleet building. And I kind of made a decision without you two, but I think you're going to be okay with this because Reuben is telling me that I have to run Rebels. He is kind of laid that on the line there. I have to give Rebels a shot. And while I have played Rebels before, it's been a very, very long time, and I didn't feel really comfortable with them. So that's going to be our goal tonight, is to build something competitive that I can fly, and I will fly it not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday for Mid-Rim Mayhem.
Ooh, Gunda, Chris, Gunda. Deep cover. So
I'm not holding high hopes for my performance, but we'll see what happens here.
it can be difficult or it can be kind of easy. Depends on what fleet you fly.
Well, my big problem is I tend to feel like I want to fly the complicated stuff, but I'm not good enough to fly the complicated stuff. So I feel like I really need to keep it simple,
And the wheels fall off of the complicated stuff sometimes.
Yeah, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine. If you have one piece that doesn't fire off exactly right, then the whole thing comes tumbling down.
Mm-hmm. Rebels don't do that much. They've got only a couple of officers that do combo-y stuff like that. It's more about just efficient force multipliers. It's more what Rebels do. So.
Well, and I will throw one other tidbit out. I mean, first off, everybody knows that I like to fly mid-range, but I don't know that that's something that is really smart with Rebels. But I've also been, greatly enjoying my Imperial Rogue Ball, so I feel like any squads we do, we need to do a Rogue Ball.
Well, the only good Rebel squads are Rogue Squad. So
there you go.
Right. Yep. I've got this I got this old junker out back, and it's called a YT-2400, and it'll
You're going to
kill
make me fly
anything.
Lando, aren't you?
Oh yeah, of course, brother. You
Lando's
haven't
easy. He flies forward and blows something up.
you haven't experienced joy until you've blown up somebody's squadrons with Lando, or shot
With
their ship that was at one hole that thought it could get away for the
their
win.
friggin' flotilla they can't scatter.
Yep, dead to rights, brother.
So one thing we do have to consider is we were asked to build a Sato fleet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were asked to do a Sato fleet. I thought we had done
So
that, though, didn't we?
I mean, I've talked about generally what I think is good with Sato, and I gave a reasonable paragraph kind of explanation of where I think you want to go with that commander.
Well, can I fly a Sato
We,
fleet? Am I capable of that?
yeah, mid-range fighter ball, mid-range
we
ships. It's what
could
you want to do.
we could do it. It's gonna be a little more flimsy than some other builds that we could do. So, okay, Rebel design is very different than Gar and Empire because our, our ship choices are very, very influenced by which commander we pick. So you don't really like build a fleet and then just like put a commander in it. You go, what commander do I want to play? How do I maximize those commanders' benefits? Because if you go and read all the Rebel commanders, they're all only helping one particular thing, right? So Mon Mothma, all about evade tokens. Kraken, all about going speed 3. Agate, all about making one large ship tankier. Riken, all about making our squadrons better. Uh, the ones that are more generally useful, like Medine and Leia and Garm, don't typically see play because they're not as overtly powerful as the top level Rebel commanders. Radis is probably the most flexible one, but he's also more about yes, you're going to take, well, instead of Radis being I'm going to play this particular ship, Radis says, oh, I'm playing Radis, therefore I play this ship and I play a large and I play these things. Like it's very structural how Radis
Yeah.
works along with the rest of the Rebel fleets. So then it comes down to what do you want to play? So we know you played mid range. We know that you like to skirmish and you want to play rogues. So there's a few different options for that kind of thing. You can look at the Liberty. It's going to be faster. It's not going to you think it will be able to fight other larges. It can't really because of its how its defenses and shields work. But what it's really good at is it's really good at like cutting through an opponent formation, killing their small ships with the support of rebel like rogue squadrons to win the squad war, and then it gets out and it preserves its points. Because the big
Now,
difference
is that
between
the
rebel charges,
when we say Liberty, is that the MC-80 or assault or battle cruiser?
typically you're going to run the Star Cruiser, the one with more blue dice.
Okay.
So you can do that one. We can do an Akbar fleet that focuses on the MC-80H, the Home One version, because we build what's called a Giga Drill, like a Doom Pickle kind of build. Or we can do the MC-75 Armored is a really well-rounded ship that's good at a bunch of different phases of the game, but because of its defensive suite, it and its movement, particularly its nav chart at speed 3, is so weird, and how its arcs are positioned are so weird that it actually is a pretty high skilled ship to use, which is why you consistently see it with Radis, because you can get that perfect double up with the 75 armor.
Okay.
It it approaches pretty well. You have to attack at kind of this weird oblique angle with it, so it's a little strange to get used to. The assault frigate it's kind of like our workhorse squad medium kind of ship. It's very, very different than the Victory or the Acclimator. Because it doesn't shoot particularly great, but it's durable enough, and it can shoot fine, and it can squad enough. So like it's really general purpose, and it's very core to a particular archetype of rebel, which is the assault frigate with like an MC-30 or a Nebulon B, and then like 2 flotillas and a bunch of squads.
Okay.
So,
well, since we said that we were going to run Sato, and I've got Sato called up right now, which while a friendly ship is attacking a ship at distance 1 of a friendly squadron, the attacker may add 2 dice, each of any color. If it does, it must cancel 2 attack dice. So, looking at Sato, what is the ship that we want to start with?
I personally think that if we're going to do Sato, we want to start with an MC. No, we can either do an MC-75 build, or we can start with an assault frigate. So, do you want to play a large, or do you want to play mediums and smalls?
I think mediums and smalls would be interesting.
Right. Cool.
Yep.
So, and we're gonna start with we're gonna break the mold here a little bit, and we're gonna go with the Mark A, not the Mark B.
Okay.
All right.
So if you look at the 2 assault frigates, typically you don't play the A because the points that you spend for the extra die aren't particularly helpful.
Okay.
But here's how I think about Sato that I think is very different than how people have approached him in the past, and really influenced by how he is now. Sato no longer has to be an APT fishing commander. Because
JBC says Rebel 1 is always the best choice.
I don't know about Sato, though.
The Providence
you can do some funny
fine.
things. You can do some funny things. That's 4 black dice.
The Providence is fine until it gets trapped, because it's only speed 2. And the last thing you want to do is brawl with a ship that doesn't have an ECN. And more like core, this is your first introduction to Rebels, the Assault Frigate and what we're going to talk about are like very iconic to the faction. And the Providence is a ship that requires very like technical builds for it to work. Because if we were going to do the Providence, we'd be doing B-wings and fighter coordination teams. It'd be a much more technical fleet to fly.
Yeah.
And this is going to be like a rogue ball fleet.
That sounds fun, though.
It does sound fun, but it sounds like my kind of thing normally. But again, I have proven that my skill level is not quite up to the.
You can do nonsense with like fighter coordination and engine techs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do a lot of nonsense. Is the key word for the Providence. So we have our flagship. We have Sato.
Mm-hmm.
Now we kind of come to the next decision. We can play 2 flotillas and a torpedo, or we can play 1 flotilla, a CR-90, and a Nebulon B.
Now,
if you want an explanation of why, I can absolutely give you one.
I would, because everything that I understood says you don't fly a Nebulon B like ever.
Yeah, sure. Except if we take a Nebulon B and we put Salvation on it, and we get additional damage from the black dice that we're re-rolling at long, we can do like 9 damage. Or we take Vanguard and we have built-in rerolls for the black dice. We get a redirect token, which makes the ship more defensively valuable. It won't shoot as hard, but it'll kind of be close to a gladiator, but shooting at long. Yeah. Both of these ships are flanker ships. They work. One of them is like more glass cannon, which is Salvation, and the Vanguard one is an interesting gladiator equivalent kind of flanker thing, which I think is really cool. Probably isn't as good as Salvation because, oh boy, if you roll good with Salvation, you're going to do a shit ton of damage. And then the MC30 is a classic combination is the MC30 with the assault frigate and squads. Oh man, I'm blanking on his name. His name's Henry in real life. I forget the name. His YouTube channel, his actual.
Is there talking about chivalry?
Yeah, Chivalry. He played this combo at Worlds 2 years ago. So it's an interesting kind of like 1-2 punch kind of these two like a medium that's on a small base and like a medium ship are working together with squads to get all damage on her. And then the CR90A, we actually play with Dodonna's Pride, and we just say we don't really put any upgrades on it, and it's kind of a lifeboat for Sato, but it'll just sit there at long range, and if it gets the blue crit off, because you can informed reroll, you just go damage card, damage card, damage card. So it's another like flanker ship.
Okay. I feel
Whereas
like
the torpedo's going to be more like linear attacking, get black dice, do a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, I feel like the torpedo frigate is the smarter way to go, but based on the way that I like to fly, I feel like going with the Nebulon B is probably the better bet for me.
Sure,
Yeah,
let's do it. Okay.
Torpedo is going to be like flying gladiator, but a lot more punishing if you do it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes aspiration says I'm invincible.
Yeah, sometimes they don't die, but that really comes down to some luck.
But you've got to be able to ride the line of being in like just few enough enemy firing arcs at just far enough away that it feels like they can never get a good grasp on your shrimp, and then it kills them.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
love the idea of a Nebulon B with like spinals and salvation.
So which Neb B are we using?
We're going to do the one that is 51 points, the escort.
Okay.
Well, not the escort,
support.
The support.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't really care about anything else.
And you said a CR90A?
Yep.
Yep.
And then a GR75?
GR75, yeah. So, as you can see, we're already at our 4 activations, so we are absolutely optimal. Our core list construction is good.
Okay.
Now, we're going to move on to the squad ball next, because we need to make sure that we do this. Like, we have to commit appropriate resources to the squad ball for it to function appropriately.
Yep.
Okay.
It has to be a full squad ball. So at minimum, we're at 120 points of squads.
Yep.
Don't play Sato with try to doing like a 75-point ball. Because he is a combined arms commander, you do need to do the combined arms stuff. So incidentally, combined arms actually becomes a full squad ball, because rebel squad balls don't work too great when they're not full up. Really, you see squad balls that are 30 points or all.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, 90 points of rebel squads will probably lose to 90 points of like Republic squads or Imperial squads, and then you don't have anything for Sato.
So we're starting with Lando, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That just goes without saying. I mean,
yep. And your next squadron.
I will say Han is not terrible with Sato because he lets you reposition him before your ships go. That is something to consider.
Is the interesting new tech one. If you don't feel like playing Lando, potentially you play Han here.
Yep.
The absolute auto include is Tycho.
Yes.
All right. Let's see.
And look. So we picked Tycho because he can't be bogged down. He can always choose to move, and he's speed 5. And he's got a scatter token, so you keep him safe, and then in the squad phase you move him where you want him to be for your attacking phase next turn.
Okay.
Or you push him with a squad token to put him in position before you shoot.
Okay.
Now the next question is are we going to commit the points to be a more grindy squadron winning list, or are we going to play more scatter and counter? Because we have the option of either playing Lando, Shara, Tycho, Luke, or Ketsu, or we play Lando, Tycho, Wedge, Dutch. Wedge Dutches as a combo. Dutch shoots one squad, they're like a non-scatter ace, activates them, and then Wedge will shoot them with 6 blues. So that combo is more about really winning the squad war, whereas if we're playing like Shara, Tycho, Luke, and Lando, that's more of a like, we're going to bog you down, but we don't necessarily really expect to win the squad war.
Yeah, we're just putting our squadrons up in position for our ships to throw black dice. Or blue.
Luke or Ketsu gives you the either go through their shields and bomb them. It's really good if they don't have PDICs or an evade. And Ketsu is more squadron controlling because she reduces the speed of enemy squadrons that are in her engagement range, and she's a 2 blue die bomber with scatter.
Yeah.
So they're and Luke's 20 points, Ketsu's 22 points. So they're also close to each other. So that 4th ace slot is kind of a flex between those two.
It kind of depends on what you want, Chris.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to figure out here.
So Ketsu's going to be speed 4 hull. Luke is speed 3, 5 hull. They're both rogues. Ketsu has grit.
I think I want to go with Ketsu.
Ketsu.
Okay. Makes sense.
And then we're doing Shara. You want Shara as well?
Then you're probably going to do Shara.
Yep. So Ketsu, Lando, Shara, Tycho.
And now the rest of it just builds itself. It's 2 YT-2400s and a Rogue Squadron. And if you feel like you want more bombing, you take Blue Squadron, Gold Squadron instead of Rogue.
Sorry, I'm just reading what Shara does there, so I'm familiar here.
Oh, Shazabay, she's very good.
How do you not know what Shara does?
Hey. All right, and
for a long time there, she was an auto. Every Rebel light squad was just Shara Tycho.
You said 2 YT. Oh, hold on, I gotta ban this stupid. Stupid spammer. Said 2 YT-2400s.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we want to round it? Are we good with an odd number of squads?
I play 7 all the time. It's fine.
Okay.
And then Rogue Squad.
A lot of times, the Rogue, because of the cost of the YT-2400s and how good they are, we don't really have the. Well, I personally don't play the Z95 stuff. You'll see it on some fleets online where they're playing like 8 or 10 activations with Z95s. A, I don't own that many Z95s. B,
you don't want to.
I play YT-2400s and have a blast. So
sure,
that's the stuff that I play.
Okay, so that has us sitting at 315 points.
Yep. Welcome to Rebels. How many squad points do we have?
125.
125? Okay. So...
Yeah, we've got Ketsu, we've got Lando, Rogue Squadron, Shara Bay, Tycho, and 2 YT-2400s.
Yep. And go ahead and put... we're going to put Sato on the CR90. I'm assuming, right?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm a little bit short there. Okay.
Yep. He could... I'd say he could go on the Nebulon,
340.
That's riskier.
No, I feel better on the CR90.
Absolutely better. Don't do that. All right.
CR90 is going to get blown up.
Core
That would be
core
bad,
things we have to do
okay?
now. Core thing number 1. The CR90 has Dodonna's Pride.
Sorry, CR90 has what?
Dodonna's
Pride.
Pride.
Okay.
So what you're going to do with this is when you have your Sato shots, you're going to add blue dice and go for your crit. Would you want any other upgrades on this, Reuben? Go for like QBTs or no? Okay.
Not a thing. Because points are going to be very at a premium very quickly. Next core thing. ECMs. Period. Done.
ECMs on
assault frigate.
On the assault frigate.
On the assault frigate. Okay. All right.
Now, the build that I have toyed with, that this fleet that I've built of this exact archetype, is spinal armaments on the frigate.
Oh.
Because then it has exactly the mirrored die pools everywhere, and it'll always optimally shoot 3 reds, and 2 of them will turn into blacks with informed reroll.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it won't do a ton of damage, but it'll consistently just shoot.
Yeah. And you can get those double. You get the doubles pretty. Yep.
Next thing, we want Salvation on the Nebulon.
Well, we sure are running out of points quick.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
Now, are you thinking...
Now, I've got Salvation up here. While attacking a ship from your front hull zone, your crit icons count as 2 damage instead of 1.
Now, what turbo laser would you recommend for that? Because I'm feeling slaved.
Well, the reality is we may not be putting many turbo laser upgrades on much stuff here, or we might be changing some ships around a little bit.
We'll see. We got 30 points to go. Let's come back to it.
Because Salvation with Slaved and Ox Shields would be pretty sick. In fact, I would like that quite a bit, actually. Because that could do a whole crap ton of damage.
Your Nebulon throws with a Confire dial, it's going to be 3 blacks and... let's see, it's 3 blacks and 2 reds. If I do that right? 3... Switch to... So it's 1...
Well, it would roll its original pool of 4 reds.
So apologies to Dark Horse here. I know you like big ships, but we won't be running big ships on this one.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't the faction that big ships. It's very specific. There's only one guy that big ships, and that's Radis. Don't play Agate, actually. So just don't do that. You can go look at the stats. Don't play Agate.
You can play Agate if you want to. You can play Agate Starhawk. It's still probably fun.
Whatever. I do what I want.
All right. The assault frigate so the A, like this build with the A is really weird. Okay. This is not standard at all. If we were playing standard, this would be a B, which would still probably be good, and it'd give us like 7 points to work with, which is totally reasonable. And we can look at doing that after we get done with this fleet, if how you feel about it, because it'll give us a few more points to like get some other core upgrades that really synergize the old Rebel squad ball stuff. So, next step is we have spinals on the assault frigate. We've got our ECMs. We have our flanker Nebulon with, right now it just has Salvation. We're looking at Ox Shield teams. I think Ox Shield teams is absolutely required, personally. Just to, like, you go not 2 shields to the side, 1 to the rear. Not get immediately iced. Yeah, really important.
Yeah, because somebody can throw, any small ship. it could even be like a raider.
Gotcha.
That can just get in your backfield and hit you in your side with no redirect token and just blow you up in one shot.
So on the first turn, are you taking engineering and bumping those shields?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll tell you every single command dial that you need for the whole fleet. Like you can write it all down and just follow the rules.
You can
And that's
send that to me later.
you
We'll talk
advocate.
about that before the game.
So, next most important thing, CommSnet.
Yeah.
Period. We don't need Bomber Command Center. We ain't fine. We don't do it. We'll think about putting. We're probably going to squeeze some more points out of the squad ball too. So we're probably going to Gold Squadron because I have another idea forming about an alternate, maybe more optimized,
Okay.
mostly the same fleet, but CommSnet.
Reuben, the mad
So,
scientist of the rebels.
Oh yeah. How many points are we at?
We are now at 372.
372? All right. We got enough points left.
When you put some upgrades in that frigate.
Our next decision is, first of all, what defensive officer are we putting on our frigate?
Okay, so it's got to be a defensive officer, you say?
Whalix isn't terrible.
Whalix is the standard.
You can discard your evade token, then just get it back.
The alternate, like another flex path for everybody that's following along. A flex path we could do is we go to Han, if you want to play Han instead, which opens us up to play Lando as our defensive officer. I personally don't prefer Lando compared to Whalix. I like the absolutely for sure that Whalix provides instead of the luck that Lando gives. Other notable Rebel players prefer Lando. Shout out to Ryan.
Better be lucky than good.
I mean, true. So that's that's the first thing. And the second thing is, are we going to boarding troopers or are we going to take the actual weapons team slot?
I am avoiding boarding troopers because of the range.
Yeah. I think we're better off with a weapons team.
Yeah. Now, the issue then becomes what we don't want to do. This is my core thesis about new Sato. What we don't want to do with new Sato is overcommit to rerolling, because we spent 27 points to bring
a dice fixing
commander that rerolls and does our dice fixing. So the last thing we should be doing is adding more dice fixing. Who cares? You don't super duper need it.
Yeah. So on that note, are you feeling maybe something like sensor teams or weapon battery techs?
See, that's the issue. My personal instincts is I run it lean and just don't run any of it.
That's fair.
Somewhere else, right?
Yeah.
Because this is more about gunboats shooting at people with some rogues doing stuff.
Yeah.
We'll talk about a different version of this that would be close but a little different.
Yeah, instead of getting a sensor team on my frigate, I'd rather get a turbo on my CR-90.
Yeah, but if we're doing Dodonas, then we don't particularly need the TRC.
I mean, you can still do weapon battery. Oh, wait, that's not a turbo. We did turbo laser, yeah. You could do QBTs, but that's riskier.
Okay. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, are either of the titles good for the assault frigate?
There's interesting potential
with Paragon
on Paragon, because since we're already we built an A, so we're looking to double arc with it because of the spinals, because of how Paragon reads. We maybe consider Paragon and Ordnance Expert, because at that point, maybe we might actually roll some blanks. But really, just Paragon is fine. We spent 27 points of our fleet to do dice fixing. So we can do just dice addition and maybe like a little sprinkle of some more.
We'll come back
reroll.
to that because I don't know
Yeah,
if we.
You really on this kind of list, when you already have like your dice fixing, when you have a dice fixing commander, bank your Confire token early and to kind of save it for like when you really need that extra damage. And that's really probably going to be fine.
Ain't taking Confire token. Nope.
I mean, do we
You gotta comms that. You'll be fine.
do we want to consider Torin Far on the GR75?
I personally, points wise, would suggest Ahsoka. Because then any of our tokens turn into any token we need. And then our comset becomes a budget version and more flexible than parts resupply or munitions resupply.
And she's cheaper.
And she's
Yeah.
Let's circle back to the Nebulon.
Okay.
The spinals and slave turrets and ox shield themes would be interesting. We don't necessarily have to do slaved. We might just do DTTs or XI7s if we want to just push through damage with it. But
yeah,
what I think is a key rebel piece from other fleet archetypes that I think would be very good on specifically the Nebulon is Ezra. Because the Nebulon hides behind stuff, then you Ezra out of the way, shoot at him unobstructed, and you move
funny.
it so that it's not messing up your.
Yeah, use it to protect yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
So Ezra on the Nebulon B.
Personally, I'd like slaved over XI7s, and the reason for that is if we're not doing XI7s on any other ship, then
Because we're
not doing enough drilling. I feel we're not doing enough drilling.
Yeah. It's an option.
You know,
like if you're gonna look at this fleet and take a large instead of the assault frigate, maybe think about XI7s if you're gonna do.
Right. Yeah. If we had XI7s on the assault frigate, then definitely double up on it so you can hit something really hard. But like just one ship throwing like 4 or 5 damage and saying you can't redirect it when my other ships are having all their damage redirected just means your opponent's getting a fiction use their shields.
Our other reasonable option is probably DTT, just so that we do see another red dice.
Yeah,
because you can actually do the ordering of it where you roll the original pool, Sato and cancel, and then you can roll a DTT. So if that blank black comes up and you roll a red double, then you're just like
you can get your blank out. Sure.
It's reasonable.
That's reasonable. I do like slave just because I like the idea of your small throwing 5 dice really consistently.
I think the Nebulon, if you can get it around somebody, it's going to be hard to do. But if you can get it to where it's fairly safe and double arcing, that double arc with Sato and Salvation is honest.
Yeah, well, and that's true. You have the.
So let's not go. Yeah, let's not go with slave turrets. Let's hold on a second. I gotta.
We can look at DTTs, but that might also, if we need some points, I don't feel like we're losing much if we get rid of DTTs.
It's generally kind of a low value card.
Yeah.
For what that ship's wanting to do.
Okay, so if we go with DTTs, then we are at 386 right now.
Dude, you can do XX and 9s.
Oh, first 2 cards face up?
Yeah, because your crits count as double damage, and so the first. Yeah. Okay, we can go back to that.
Okay.
I just think it's 2-point upgrade. So if we really need points back, like that's I think is hilarious. Your Nebulon throws 6 damage and goes take 2 face ups, please.
So what are you saying throwing in there?
And the turbo laser.
What was it? I'm sorry, I missed
XX9s instead of
XX9s.
DTTs. And it's because your salvation makes your crits count as double damage, but it's not a crit effect. So you can still trigger XX9s instead of the standard crit, but if you roll a black double, that's 3 damage on that one die.
Wow.
So like, I think this tiny little ship can throw like 5 or 6 damage pretty reliably with Sato, and then if they happen to get any damage cards through, those are face ups, or the first two are face ups, and they can't be contained. XX9s is hilarious because you can't contain it unless you have DCO.
And you've got Dodana's Pride just sitting there plinking you for face ups the entire time too. If you can get everything on target.
Well, let's go with that.
Sato.
Yeah, let's
switch
have
Sato
fun. That is my kind of shenanigans. Okay, it.
Oh no! Here they come. Here it comes, boys.
We're doing an APT list with. Okay.
So that puts us at 384.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm caught up with. So now we just got the frigate to kit out. We don't really need anything else in the GR75. And if we want to come back to the CR90, we can see where we go. So we still need the defensive officer. So do we want to stick with Whalix, or do we want to switch the squadrons out for Lando?
I think Whalix is just better.
I agree. I think Whalix has more utility.
He's a simple.
Do we want Bright Hope? By the way.
Probably not.
Okay.
Fly good.
All right, so we're back to looking at the assault frigate, correct?
Right. Whalix puts us at 389. We have 11 points left. And we're saying
had Whalix on there.
Oh, we didn't. I was waiting to see if we came back to him.
Oh, no, I already had him on there, and I'm sitting at 384, so I must be missing something somewhere.
You put Ezra, auxiliary shield teams, XX9s on your Nebula. Do you have Paragon on your assault frigate?
No, I do not. I did not take Paragon. I said we would come
back
to that, but we'll throw that on
come
there.
Back to it.
Okay, 389.
We're at it now.
Okay.
Yep.
Paragon is interesting. So because we're trying to double arc with this assault frigate A, Paragon will add a black dice when we make that second.
Okay.
Now, if we're doing that, I do suggest Ordnance X.
Yeah, I agree.
Because the likelihood that you do get enough blinks where you'll actually want to reroll is high enough.
Yeah. So now, Chris, if you manage to get to, even if you're at long range, from both your front and your side, you're throwing 3 red. With Sato, you'll be able to throw 2 black, cancel 2 dice,
yeah,
of any color.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to reroll your blacks. Now on the second shot, if you have the double arc, it'll be the 3 reds plus a black, and then you can add 2 more blacks, cancel things out, and then get your rerolls.
Yeah.
It's really reliable. We don't have access to a crit effect, but
this is very inspired by how I design, and I don't care about crit effects. The crit effect is getting a face up on them and pulling their projector missile lines and cackle.
Contain.
That's fine. I'm doing more damage. It's consistency and damage. What I built for.
Okay, we got 7 points left.
All right.
We don't need an offensive on the frigate,
nope.
Do we?
Decaps. Never ever fill offenses on frigates. Pointless. Unless it's been beat. So the last card is the final of the MSU tech package. It is Sabine Wren on the CR98.
All right. So Sabine is giving you mines, correct?
One mine.
One mine.
And you typically do it on first turn, because when Mr. Triangle Man goes, "Oh, I'm going to attack you from the flank," you go, fine, go around that, have fun.
Yep, and you want to make sure you place it.
Proximity mines rule.
Right, place it in a place where it's going to be obstructed from flak, because otherwise your opponent
and not where you're going.
Yes, and remember, it has to be. it has to be outside distance 3 of enemy ships, so like it can't be right in their face. But
Yeah.
Especially if your opponent has like a large ship.
Range.
Yeah, if they have a large ship, you can generally get it in their face. Just as long as you can. I think you can put it. It says at distance 1 and 2. Does that mean you can put it on the obstacle? Or
I would say no, because it's got to be at
between
least
the 1
distance
and 2,
1,
right?
and yeah.
Right. So,
Okay. So this version of this list is not a squad supported list.
Well, we have somebody that's saying yes, you can.
Okay.
So we'll have to look that up and double check it.
It's
check
been a while
keyword
since
AT.
We'll go to the R.
Keyword at. Okay.
So this fleet is 2 solid combat ships. Well, 2 solid combat ships. 1 like frontliner, 2 flankers, and enough squads. It's all about the synergy of getting this all on target. And the ships aren't really helping the squads. You're probably still going to do squad dials with your CR90, maybe your assault frigate, probably not. That's the third token I would take personally, would be the squad token, not a confire.
Sure.
But this is like this is very archetypical of how rebels work. There's not a whole lot of synergy going on, like token shenanigans, synergy stuff. It's just combined arms, getting your damage application plan done, and if you can get all guns on target and be able to have your exit vectors secured, you'll do just fine. An alternate version of this list would be we go from the CR90, we go from the assault frigate A to B, and then we do like flight controller-y expanded stuff.
More squadron stuff.
That's where we'd have Tauren, we'd have flight controllers, we'd have expanded, we'd drop the CR90 to a flotilla, we'd have 8 all boosted, and then we'd be doing like, okay, we have 2 ships, they have reasonable guns, and then we use Sato to buff our reasonable guns and shoot. Now, I don't think that fleet is as good as this one for what Sato wants to be doing. Because with this fleet, we've got 6 arcs worth of ships that are going to be doing black dice. And that's the plan. To go, okay, I'm going to shoot you at long range with black dice, and I'm going to believe in the heart of the dice and bang, bang.
Let's talk about our objectives.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting one. Okay. Now, the most bog standard red is most wanted. All right, we check the box. We have a flotilla. Check. We do gun things with ships. Check.
Lots of gun things. It's very favorable for MSU.
Yeah. All right. So we have all that stuff. That means that yes, we can do this. We could consider Ion Storm. It's not as efficient because we're not doing a bunch of TRC stuff. So not as useful, but we're still going to have crits around. It's harder. Ion Storm takes practice to use. We absolutely do not do advanced gunnery. No. Noisy Cricket Nebulon B is not an advanced gunnery option. Not real. The ISD will kill you. It won't be pretty. We can't really do sensor teams. We're not generating enough accuracies. We're probably going to be, honestly, I would be canceling those accuracies personally. Like, unless you've shot them once and their ECMs is out, just turn the accuracies into more damage. It's not like, you telling them to, spend an engineering token, you can trace my damage or not. They're just going to do it. So,
now, what about precision strike?
We don't really bomb that much.
Yeah, you've only got a couple bombers.
So, and my biggest problem with precision strike is that you guys haven't experienced this. You've been on the shooting end of it. You haven't been on the receiving end of it. Your Rebel squad ball will absolutely die to any of the real competitive squad balls. The Rebel Squad Ball is not particularly great.
Well, I'm throwing this. I was throwing Precision Strike out less because of the squad ball, less because of the bomber aspect, but more because of
you have two sources of face-up damage cards.
Yeah.
It is funny. It is funny.
Is it getting flipped? That's the risk with Precision Strike.
Yeah, because anybody who brings a full squad ball, like if I'm playing a Sloan, like Imperial Bomber or a Thrawn Imperial Bomber fleet, and you brought Precision Strike, I say, oh, I'm gonna pick that. I'm gonna win the squad fight with my Quasar flight controller, Imperial
so
Ace Ball, and then I'm gonna bomb you and flip points on you. But I do like. I saw it too.
Yeah. I would suggest we go to no bid and take Jan Ors over Charlotte.
To shore up our squad ball. Mm-hmm. That's an option. Yeah.
Yep. Or you can play Most Wanted and have bid.
Yeah, because the other thing too, Chris, is that we are picking objectives that are for this list, but you're not really playing for second. Honestly, even if you get you can. I think with your double arcing assault frigate Sato play, I think we want first player so we can do help set ourselves up for some last first situations.
Yeah.
Okay. So defense objective.
There's only one real option.
Asteroid tactics.
What did we pick?
Asteroid tactics. Correct.
We picked most wanted. Yes, we picked most wanted.
Asteroid tactics is
yeah. Okay. Yeah, Lando and asteroid tactics. Here. Yes. I have learned this the hard way.
And also, Whalix into discarding again, into hitting a rock, into another evade, baby.
Yep. Also, it gives Lando the ability to get his token back so that he can then Lando again.
Yes, that's what I've had happen to me before. Yes,
it's obnoxious, and your GR-75 can scatter, burn it, fly on an asteroid, get it back. It's nasty. Yep. It's too good. Astro Tactics is too good.
All right, so navigation.
I think this is where you actually do some flat. Because Infested it's good, but I think we could be more evil. I think there's an option for something out there. I'm mentally reviewing. 90% of your games, if you pick second, people are going to take your asteroid tactics. They're not going to play your most wanted. It's just a crap ton of extra dice that are also black. It's bad. Really, you're going to play asteroid tactics most of your games. So we don't want to take another blue that's weaker than that, because honestly, us on asteroid tactics is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You're not at the skill level to do shenanigans with hyperspace migration. Most people aren't. It's difficult.
Yeah, I've seen it in action. It is rough. Yeah.
It's difficult. That's more of an Akbar CR90 swarm kind of objective.
Yeah, because
I saw two ISDs with that. Yeah,
it roots you down too much in the position. Your opponent knows where you're going to be, and you want the ability to still be able to scatter your fleet if you have to.
Mm-hmm. Rebels are all about gliding with your primary ship, and taking an angle right at the edge of their overlapping bubbles of their ships. Attacking into the corner with your flankers coming in and cutting through their formation, and that's why you attack somebody at their corner. So I don't know. I'd have to draw you some MS Paint craziness to make it make sense.
So is it maybe Intel Sweep?
I wouldn't do Intel Sweep. The issue with Intel Sweep. Go ahead.
You can. You have to watch out for them having strategic. What's his name? Angry Ewok played.
Never mind. I thought Intel Sweep was something different. Never mind. I would not want Intel Sweep. No.
Yeah, Intel Sweep's rough because it can get flipped on you, and it's the same kind of deal I have with hyperspace migration, where your opponent kind of knows what you're doing with that ship, and do you pick your CR90? That's your flagship. If your CR90, if I know you're going A, B, C, then I'm gonna be heading towards C, and I'm gonna get you.
So how do you feel about navigational hazards?
See, I like both dangerous territory and nav hazards because they're cool. I really like interacting with the obstacles more. We don't see them a lot, especially in competitive play, because they are hard to really score. Like they're not really farming objectives. They're just kind of there to get a cherry on top.
Yeah.
And give you as second player a little bit more of an advantage in the maneuvering.
And if you want a cherry on top, you're going to take Asteroid. You're going to take Infested just because Infested is really important if we're in the mirror into another 134. If we have bid, we take second. Because that's when we need our worms. Because Rebel squads plus worms will win.
Yep. Because like dangerous territory can get flipped on you. It's kind of hard, but your opponent might just say like, "Hey, I'm running." Like if I'm running double Mahdi ISD, I'm just gonna run over debris fields. I don't care. So like it's hard, even though you ignore it and you can fly your CR90. I'm just gonna fly an ISD over two different obstacles at the same time and get 2 tokens.
Wait a minute, we just take Infested.
Okay.
Because
Infested.
then we take Infested because we also have Ezra and we throw the worm at them.
You throw the worm.
It's the most heinous thing. Almost one of the most heinous things I've ever had happen to me was Nick Parrott throwing the worm into my squad ball and murdering all my stuff. It's so good.
That's very true. That's very true.
All right. So
and for everyone to get the full explanation, Ezra says discard him when the ship activates to move an obstacle. Like when you reveal your command dial, you move an obstacle within 2 of Ezra's ship, within 2 of that obstacle starting location. So if the worm's out, because the worms are out, and then their squad ball is hiding over there and they think it's safe, Ezra moves the worm from distance 2 of its location into their squad ball off of its rock, and then it eats them. And the worm's out there in the middle of nowhere.
The only weirdest interaction with that though is at the start of the squadron phase, you attack and remove them, and then you move the obstacle each one was touching. But since that one's no longer touching, you don't get to move the second obstacle. You also have Sabine, which means you can drop a mine outside of your opponent's flak range and then move something in its way so they can't flak it. And so as they're flying around the asteroid, you can actually keep shielding it from being flaked if they're flying around your mine. Just like it's infested. It's great.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I think, especially with Ezra, reminding about Ezra is perfect.
Well, you will have to bring this fleet for me, not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday.
You'll get to use my painted Nebulon.
But with that, we have come to time, so I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight, and looking forward to trying this out. I won't lie. While I'm not a Rebel player, I like trying new things. So
it's a pretty funny list.
Roll a bunch of crits.
All right.
Just roll a bunch of doubles. You'll get them.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night.
Nah, you too.
Good night, everybody.
All right. So thank you so much for watching the show. I hope you guys enjoyed that little exercise there. Again, we won't be doing Mid-Rim Mayhem this week. Unfortunately, my schedule does not allow for it. But the following week, I will be flying this fleet against somebody. We'll see who I'm flying against when the time comes. But looking forward to trying it out and seeing how things work out. And if you haven't seen how the new Sato works, well, we'll get to see that as well. So look for us on Sunday for the Sith Adventures, and thank you guys for watching. Have a great night.